Okay guys, I'm digging up some gems here. These are videos I had up previously that I had to take down because it just didn't have any commentary on there. I know you guys don't like commentary, but it's the only way we keep these things up, and the only way you'll see them, because it's owned by other people. So as long as I commentate on it, it should be fine according to YouTube. I talked to the support team; they said it should be fine as long as I do a fair bit of commentary and add some value to it. So here we go. This is why everyone at the back in 2007, the first iPhone got launched, and everyone backstage, the whole design team, everything, they were beside themselves because there was so much money tied up in this, and they didn't know how it was going to go. So let's have a look how it unfolded. There's a bit of intro first and some cameos which you'll like too. Here we go.
He came, he saw, and he always seemed to conquer.
Steve.
He had an eye for beauty. He understood what people wanted.
But you didn't expect that. Donald Trump turns up as a cameo, and here's Penn Jillette. There we go.
Took plastic shit and made it classy.
In 2007, Steve Jobs introduced a product that would make Apple the richest company on the planet.
Steve Jobs was a master at teasing new technology to people, and everyone turned up to Macworld thinking they were seeing a new iPod or a new Mac. He was showing them something vastly different, something new and something that was going to change the world, and he did it like the master that he was.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just hang on a sec, guys. Bear with me. I'm just going to go grab a phone, and I'll just hang in there, guys. Just thought of something. Hey, I'm coming back. Stay with me. So I'll explain to you, because it's getting to the stage now where it's 13 years ago. So we got some youngsters probably watching that don't remember what phones used to look like. So here's my old Nokia E63. So you used to have to type in here. Had like a little miniature QWERTY keypad. Now this thing still works, and that's how there was no swiping, nothing. I remember when my friend, he was like he was early adopter, used to get all the new technology, and he came in with the iPhone, and I could not believe how he was opening. It was like you swipe. It's like, what? What do you mean swipe? What are you touching the screen for, man? It's like that's how it was. It was just like magic. And this is sort of phone. This is the E63. Used to have BlackBerry, same sort of thing. Used to have a little toggle switch in the middle. You navigate through with that, and then you type on a little keyboard. So I thought I'd introduce that, so you sort of get an idea of how amazingly innovative this product was when it first came out. It was the bee's knees, basically. It was the best product you've ever seen in your life. Here we go.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator.
Yeah.
An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it?
Yeah, because at the time, I had an iPod. It was like a little iPod. I've got one there. I could go away and get it again, but it was just like a little thing with a screen on it, and you flick through. So this was an all-in-one device. That's what made the iPhone so special at the time.
And we are calling it iPhone.
iPhone. It's the first time everyone's heard of it.
Today we look back and it all looks so easy.
Yeah.
But the product launch of one of the most popular products ever could have gone disastrously wrong, and Apple's fortunes along with it.
That's the original.
Every
iPhone,
single time he touched the screen, we're waiting for the music to stop playing. We're waiting for the browser to just go white. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we knew could happen.
I've got playlists here. I can go into my playlists. I've got artists. I've got songs.
The stress level is through the roof. You've never seen behind stage a more angsty, miserable group of people.
Jobs' team is stressed for a good reason. The iPhone that Steve is holding doesn't really work.
We had a very careful path. It was called the golden path that Steve had to follow. He had to do exactly these things in exactly this order. And if he didn't, it could crash.
What the rapt audience doesn't know is that to avoid these crashes,
like a
there are
prototype.
several iPhones in the lectern, with Jobs discreetly switching between them. It would take a magician to figure out how he did it.
So basically, they must have each individual task he was doing. He must have had like it open on that specific place, and yeah, maybe they were running a simulation. I'm not too sure what was going on there. Whether they were running like just a simulated screen, and it wasn't actually doing anything. He sort of had to coordinate it to the screen.
He was doing switches. He would switch one iPhone for the other so he could show off different apps when they actually couldn't change.
So it was a matter of, reaching beneath the lectern and pulling out a phone that looks like the same phone, only it's not. It's the phone to the left.
That's
As the
unbelievable,
demonstration goes on, Jobs' Backstage team do what any sane men would do under this kind of pressure. They start to drink heavily.
I could play with this for a long time.
I just anticipated all this going wrong. So on my drive, I brought with me a bottle of scotch.
Oh, no.
And
Don't drink,
what we
kids.
decided to do is every one of us who was responsible for a certain part of the demo, whether it was playing some music, showing the maps, whoever was responsible for that part would take a shot. Problem was, I'd been involved for all of them. By the time Steve does the big finale, I'm completely wasted.
And this grand finale is the most risky part of the presentation.
To conclude, I want to show you something truly remarkable.
Jobs plans to run all of the features of the iPhone at the same time. And one more thing, make a live phone call.
He's got at this point maps going, there's paused music, all the software is lit up on this phone.
So I'm going to search for Starbucks, and sure enough, there's all the Starbucks.
Things could go just absolutely sideways.
And I can even go look at that Starbucks, and there it is, and let's give him a call.
Maybe the whole thing was just going to just go black and then restart. We didn't know.
So this is a famous Starbucks call. I'm sure everyone's heard of this, but yeah, if you haven't, have a listen. This is amazing. And I wonder where this woman is right now. There we go, ring Starbucks.
Good morning, Starbucks. How can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to order 4,000 lattes to go, please. No, just kidding. Wrong number. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Force was with Steve Jobs that day, which prevented a farce.
It was the first time any of us as a group saw just a perfect demo. I mean, we'd never seen the whole thing go off without a hitch.
I personally was unaware of any significant glitches that were taking place. How beautifully it seemed to function was compelling.
And 6 months later, the world got to stand in line for the very first time.
This is gonna be like going down in the history of all cell phones.
To see the line of people snaking around the building, waiting to hand over $700+ for a phone that we had just created, was the time where it really kind of hit home for me.
Steve, I love you!
So I remember in Adelaide, because we'd all look on the websites and that, seeing when they were going to be released. And it was I think it was the US first, obviously, and then Australia. We were next in line. So I know some of the people were ordering from the US because they worked out a little bit cheaper as well to actually get them in from the US. So it was a big deal, man. I'm telling you, the iPhone was a big deal. 1 million iPhones sold in 74
The iPhone
days.
becomes the fuel for a new fire of social media.
The internet experience became usable, became real, became tangible, became popular. That was where the iPhone excelled.
Oh, that was just amazing seeing the internet
How's the smartphone changed our lives? It's changed everything. Everything is trackable, filmable, shareable. You can use it for basically any function that you want to do. You can do it better by using a smartphone.
The impact of it is unprecedented human connectedness.
So there we go. Unbelievable. And just a side note here, that clip, I've got the date there, 6th of March 2016 that clip was from. So almost 5 years ago, and we're still talking, it's just relevant. It's still relevant. The impact of the iPhone, as I said, with my little Nokia E63, still works. That's what we used to be using. Fairly small, like compared to my iPhone 7. There we go. Still fairly small compared to the iPhone 7. But yeah, you used to be able to just fit it in your pocket and everything. But functionality, pretty limited. Pretty limited. And I remember this thing used to get so frustrating just trying to get through all the messages and flicking through, because it wasn't really a search function. You could just sort by sender or date and that sort of thing. So yeah, so iPhones, you know, if you're under 15, you probably did not even know when the first iPhone came out, and what a huge deal it was. It was incredible, yeah, because as I said, the BlackBerry, back in the day, the BlackBerry, which was sort of this form factor, as I said before, was the phone to get. And you know, E63 was pretty good too. Nokia E63, the one I got. But when people started getting the iPhone, it was like, yeah, it was like magic. It seriously was like magic. Like the first time somebody, there was no Touch ID or anything. First time somebody swiped the screen, you know, it's like, what do you mean swiping the screen? You know, swiping the screen. We just couldn't believe it when we first got hold of an iPhone. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. That's a bit of history of the iPhone and why everyone was panicked backstage and were drinking heavily, which you should not do. I do not advocate heavy drinking. This is a slight sip if you're of age, but they were just heavily drinking because they were so nervous about this launch. It was basically what was make or break for Apple at the time. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.